Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That's depending where you're at and what time you're watching the videos. Welcome to Master the Master the 101. Today we're going to talk about the market. We got a special news about the Biden. As you can see, the title of the news say Biden vowed to not want interfere with Federal Reserve to fight inflation, which is sounds like good news. But the thing is, we're gonna go deeper into it to see what it means because it sounds good. Sometimes good news is a bad sign and bad news is a good sign. But we're gonna see. According to the USA Today, they say President Biden vowed Tuesday he won't interfere with the Federal Reserve Board to curb inflation after the central bank moved to raise interest rates this month, sent market spiraling. So basically, as you can know, last throughout the beginning of the month, between I think May 13 to May 16, inflation was a rise again because after the meeting of Powell and they raised it to 0.25. As you can tell, that's what they mentioned. And Biden said as a speech, my plan to address inflation start with a simple proposition: respect the Fed independence. So basically, they want Powell to be freely able to navigate the market and not interfere. That's trying to say. But the thing is, I have an issue that you cannot do that over a phone call. You can do that over email, but you choose to make it face to face. That means there's more to it. So I think there's something they're telling us they're hiding. Biden called inflation his top domestic priority, blaming Republicans for lacking a plan. So basically, if you have the Senate, you have the House, you have the presidency, and you got the three branches of the United States, and still blaming the other party for the lack of plan, what are your plan party are doing right now? Are you serious? You mean that the country rely on a Republican plan, but you guys are in top priority, and then you cannot come up with a plan? That's kind of sad because this is what we're dealing with as a country. My job as a president is not only to nominate a highly qualified individual for that institution, but to give them the space they need to do their job. So basically, what about you blaming Republican for not coming for a plan? The highly people that you hire for your party, how can they cannot come for a plan either? Because we're talking about the economy right now. We're talking about your country. You're talking about the first country globally, and now you're saying you rely on only one party, but both party cannot sit down and have a common accord. And Biden said, "I'm not going to interfere with their critical, important work." So again, what kind of work you guys been doing? Because so far, as you can see, everything is rising so far, and the prices gas are rising, inflation is rising, only the pay rate is not rising, but after that everything else is rising. Biden's has called inflation his top domestic has struggled to find over to 40 years high in consumer price for gas, food, housing, vehicles, and other goods. That's my point. Everything's been rising. So basically the goods, the gas, everything's been rising. And then now you say highly qualified people, and those highly qualified people have been in 2 years in office, and then nothing is going on so far, and everything like crazy. Inflation is at 40 years high. The Fed announced this aggressive move to fight it. So basically, last week I mentioned the Fed want to fight inflation as high as right now. So they're trying to make everything bullish again. I was bullish yesterday toward the weekend, but after I read this article, I feel like the market is they're gonna have to roll pause soon. So if they do the rogue pause soon, I think the market gonna be red for the past couple of days because what happened is inflation is the highest and everything is rising, and then I believe that a Biden gonna have a good support and a good response to this meeting with Powell, but he didn't at all. It sounds like it was a completely failure. The Federal Reserve, which operates independently of the White House and may raise its key short-term interest rate by 0.5% and a push to raise consumer demand to tame inflation. Rate went from a benchmark range of 0.25% to 0.5% to range of 0.75% to 1%, the Fed largest hike since 2000. So this is my problem. So you're rising rate to fight inflation, okay? But the thing is, how many points you're supposed to be 0.25 to 0.50. Now you add up 25 to half 100%. So you're talking about June, and July is not even a year yet. In August, and about September, or you gonna be for only through those 2 months only, those 3 months only. So this is the part that's gonna give me issue, because what happened is it doesn't sound like a good day for America. It doesn't sound like we're on the gray area. It doesn't sound like we're on the green area. It sounds like we're gonna have a big issue down the road, because the economy gonna be they're gonna be red for the past few days. I believe so, because what happened is the meeting, it doesn't really give us a good feedback that we are optimistic. Diesel sign the inflation outlook is improving. Inflation stayed elevated in April, with consumer price 8.3 higher than 1 year ago, but that was down from 8.5 in March, perhaps signaling that inflation has peaked. Sell the average price for gas Tuesday was a record of 4.62 per gallon. So you're telling me inflation is at 8.3, but you believe that is a good sign? The inflation was at 5 the other day. In your office went from 5 to 6 to 7 at 8.3. I think they are lying at this point at this report. I think the inflation is higher than that. I think from my perspective, well, I'm just saying, like I'm not confirming, but for my thought, I think that the inflation is at 10% or 12% or 17%. But they're trying to put it like, I don't know, nobody planning to 8.3. But at this rate, I think they cannot stop it, and I believe they're just speculating. So there's nothing they can do about it. And that was the news for today. Now look at how the market react. As I told you during the weekend, the market was bullish. As you can see, SP 500 was at 416, which is good, because but it dropped to 410. So basically, which is the panic. You see, people are starting to panic right now. I believe tomorrow we're gonna have a big red day tomorrow, because the meeting is coming up with bunch of nothing, and then people don't have faith on the market anymore. And you can see that right now, Bitcoin SP 500 is supposed to be 420, but instead of going to 420, it went to 416 and deep completely. So I'm completely hawkish. So that's mean I'm gonna be in put, and I'm gonna be shorting the market. I'm starting today, and then you can join me as well if you want to. But it's me saying it, but you don't have to anyway. I'm just saying for myself what I'm gonna do. And then if you want to protect your portfolio, check your profit always. And then guys, be safe out there. This was Master Bunch 101. I'll see you next one.